In a world that is, just obsessed with noise, with loud successes, quick fame, this constant digital parade of overnight stories, it can be so easy to miss what's holding everything up.
You're right, we do. We get distracted by the spectacle.
The very things that allow those quick successes to even exist in the first place.
But our source material today, it's a detailed voiceover script for a channel called InspireCastPSU, and it really forces us to shift our focus completely.
It really does. This script, which was created and is owned by Yedu Mitasala, doesn't just document a career path. It suggests that there's this other India.
Another India.
One that works silently, steadily, honestly, building and sustaining the nation without ever asking for applause.
And what stands out, almost immediately, is the clarity of its mission. The channel is dedicated to the professionals of India's public sector undertakings, the PSUs.
Right.
And for any listeners who might not be familiar, we're talking about massive state-owned enterprises. They are the backbone of the economy.
Things like power generation, oil refineries.
Banking, resource management. These are literally the engines of the country.
Okay, so let's unpack that. The channel's stated intention is, well, it's crystal clear. To give a voice to these silent builders.
Exactly.
It's not about covering daily news or policy debates or anything like that. It's about covering meaning.
Yes, and that's where the value proposition really hits home. It's not about glorifying the job title. It's about, and this is their phrase, honoring journeys.
Honoring journeys. I like that.
It elevates purpose over position. And by doing that, it kind of challenges the whole media narrative that only focuses on, private sector unicorns or quick individual wealth.
It's a deliberate tribute to the long haul, to commitment.
It is. And it sets up this beautiful core question. Why are the most meaningful stories so often the ones that are least told?
And the channel's philosophy seems to suggest that the answer is baked right into the PSU identity itself.
How so?
These individuals, they don't chase limelight. They chase responsibility.
And when you look at the scale of that responsibility, it's enormous. The source identifies them as the people who power our cities, who fuel our economy, and protect our resources.
They're building and maintaining infrastructure that's meant to last for generations.
So their professional life is defined by duty, by measurable societal impact, not by, social media metrics or personal celebrity.
That idea of dedication to duty, it almost feels like a foreign concept in our culture of instant gratification. But I wonder, is there a risk that by focusing so much on duty, the channel might minimize, say, necessary professional ambition?
That's a really good question. But looking at the source, they seem to balance this by zeroing in on the human story.
Oh.
They acknowledge the enormous personal sacrifice that's required to maintain that duty. They're looking right past the uniform and the ID card to the individual journey.
The story of leaving home, the sheer pressure of the exams.
Exactly. The pressure, the patience, and the foundational values of discipline, duty, and dignity.
It makes that abstract idea of nation building incredibly personal, relatable.
It does.
It connects back to choices and sacrifices that anyone can understand, no matter where they work.
So the vision isn't just to show a filtered success story. It's to inspire people through the real lives of these PSU professionals, focusing on resilience and service. The process of building that career is the whole narrative.
Not just the promotion at the end.
Exactly. They're selling the idea that character is built in the crucible of consistency, and that focus on the full journey. Well, it leads us perfectly into the channel's content blueprint.
Okay, and this is where it gets really interesting for anyone trying to understand this world. The channel provides a blueprint of 6 distinct content types.
So it's not just one kind of story.
No, it's a full-spectrum approach to capturing the whole PSU experience.
And it starts with Pillar 1, heart-touching stories from the ground.
And this isn't just a few staged interviews in an office somewhere.
No, the source is very specific. These narratives come straight from the field. From engineers working deep inside refineries, from officers managing volatile power grids.
Or staff posted in these incredibly remote plants where, frankly, very few people want to go.
That focus on the remote, challenging locations is key, isn't it? It anchors the whole thing in authenticity.
Totally. And these specific experiences they promise to cover are vital for understanding that commitment. Things like the first posting in an unknown town, the exhaustion of night shifts, the long hours.
And the weight of those decisions taken under responsibility.
Right, where a single error could affect thousands of people, could shut down an entire city.
By emphasizing lived experiences, not scripted stories, they build trust. They're basically saying, We see the difficult reality of your work.
It's the anti-glamour, which is precisely why the audience will connect with it.
So if those stories from the ground capture the daily grind, the channel also looks at what comes after.
Which leads us to pillar 2, life lessons after retirement.
I think this is such a powerful pillar. It's an acknowledgement that wisdom accumulates, and it shouldn't be lost.
So you have retired professionals sharing lessons from, what, decades of service?
Decades. And not just successes, but crucial career mistakes to avoid. It broadens the whole discussion to health, family, balance, things that often get sacrificed in those early, intense career years.
The source actually calls this wisdom gold.
Which it is. It's gold not just for young aspirants trying to climb the ladder, but really for anyone trying to plan a meaningful life.
It treats retirement not as an ending, but as the moment when the most valuable lessons finally come into focus.
Right. It gives young people the context they're often missing when they're just focused on the next exam or the immediate job selection.
It's an antidote to the sort of fast disposable mentality of modern professional life.
And that brings us to pillar 3, which I think is maybe the most important for their credibility.
Real struggles and transformation.
Yes, the channel deliberately. I mean, it does not hide the struggle.
And that honesty is so crucial.
It is. They list specific, difficult realities that their audience faces. Exam failures, years of waiting to get selected, transfers far from family.
Career stagnation, emotional burnout.
All the painful points. If they only showed smiling faces on day 1 and retirement day, they'd lose their audience in a second.
So wait, the reason they don't hide the struggle is because acknowledging the darkness validates the strength that comes after.
Precisely. Or rather, exactly. By listing the painful stuff, they earn the right to celebrate the transformation. The focus shifts to celebrating the strength to continue.
The argument is that transformation is born in tough moments.
It's a reality-based motivational message. It acknowledges the messy, nonlinear path that most successful careers actually take.
And that leads right into pillar 4, career guidance for aspirants.
In a culture that is just saturated with exam coaching, this channel consciously rejects what it calls coaching hype.
They're positioning themselves as the necessary reality check.
Totally. The guidance they offer is all focused on mental preparation, understanding the reality beyond selection, emphasizing discipline over some temporary motivation.
And finding a purpose that goes beyond just the salary.
They're targeting the mindset, not just the marks. I love that the channel says they offer just truth, clarity, and experience.
It distinguishes them from the world of shortcuts.
Which says volumes about the whole ethos of the silent builder, doesn't it? You don't look for the easy way out. You prepare for the difficult reality ahead.
And that insistence on discipline and truth, that's fundamental.
It has to be. These organizations need people who are reliable, consistent, not just motivated by a flash of enthusiasm that's going to fade in a month.
Okay, so then the last 2 pillars, they focus entirely on character.
On building the viewer's moral compass. Pillar 5 is motivational interviews, but they're very specific.
Focus on character traits, not just career advice.
Right. It's about applied ethics. Things like integrity under immense pressure, how to exercise leadership without ego.
Service before self.
Exactly. They're providing practical examples of virtue in action, showing the listener how to be a good professional, not just what to study.
And pillar 6. This one uses animated short stories. I think this format choice is genius.
It is, isn't it?
To reinforce those deep foundational values.
Mm-hmm.
Honesty, courage, patience, responsibility, hope.
The source even says that sometimes one short story can stay with you for life. They really understand the power of narrative for moral instruction.
It's a way to embed a value system without lecturing.
So the lessons sink in deep and stick with you.
Right, and that powerful focus on consistency brings us to the broader scope. Who is this channel actually speaking to?
Well, when you look at who they cover, it's incredibly inclusive. They respect every single role, saying their coverage runs from the factory floors to the boardrooms.
That's a critical unifying message if you're trying to build a community.
It is. The source names roles that are so often overlooked in the media spotlight.
Technicians, operators, supervisors.
Field workers, support staff. And the conclusion is just clear and undeniable. Every effort counts. Nation building is teamwork.
It elevates the status of every single person contributing.
It does, but I find the small-town narrative particularly insightful here.
When we think about defining success.
Yeah. The source points out that so many of these PSU journeys begin in small towns, government schools, modest homes, Limited resources, but, bigger dreams.
It highlights that deep professional success isn't just an urban thing or the preserve of privilege.
And that's a huge aha moment for anyone trying to navigate the professional world. It speaks directly to middle-class determination, to rural and semi-urban talent.
And to the struggles of first-generation professionals, the ones breaking new ground for their families.
It just reinforces the idea that hard work can trump pedigree.
And it all culminates in that fantastic takeaway. Your starting point does not decide your destination.
It's such a universal rallying cry for dedication.
Oh, it is.
Which brings us, finally, to the core values that really guide this channel, InspireCastPSU. They give you a clear hierarchy, a moral compass.
It's about recognizing that every day requires a choice between two paths.
Integrity over shortcuts.
Purpose over popularity.
Service over show.
Consistency over instant success.
And fundamentally, values over vanity.
This entire philosophy is built on that belief that a meaningful life is built quietly, one honest day at a time.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Well, this deep dive shows us that InspireCastPSU is doing a lot more than just documenting careers.
It's actively building a community.
A community where experience is respected and growth is collective. And it's all rooted in this belief that honest, consistent effort creates lasting impact, often far away from any camera lens.
So the target audience is actually huge. It's the PSU employees and aspirants, yes, but it's also students who are looking for real, grounded role models.
And honestly, it's for anyone who feels fatigued by the relentless chase for quick, loud fame. If you value honest work and long-term impact, this philosophy, it just resonates.
It really does. The source material leaves us with this final, powerful idea describing a kind of cascade effect.
One story can change a mindset. One mindset can change a life. One life can inspire many more.
It speaks to the slow, cumulative power of service.
It does.
And that leads to a compelling question for you to mull over. If we accept the premise that professional transformation is born in tough moments, the exam failures, the remote postings, the years of waiting, how often do we, in our own lives, prioritize character and consistency?
Quiet qualities.
The quiet qualities that are celebrated by the silent builder. How often do we prioritize those over the seductive, often short-lived pursuit